Greetings, YouTube. Happy Monday. I am congested, but I am back in the great state of Oklahoma where it's 95 degrees already because Portland, Oregon spoils you, and then you're back to reality. I have been talking behind the scenes for well over a week now, basically since the start of July, right? About this Cull Obsidian silent quote unquote nerf. You see, there are people who've been predicting this for several weeks because Cull Obsidian instantly came into the game and just destroyed people at a rate some say we haven't seen since good old Scarlet Witch pre-patch 12.0. And so when you see the kind of damage that Cull actually is able to output, the first fear, because we have a lot of trust issues in this community because Kabam has given us a lot of reasons to have those trust issues, was that somehow Kabam was going to find a way after people spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to try to pull Cull and even risk, like me, getting multiple ebony slaws, is to somehow make him worse. When you say the word nerf, if you're not really sure, when I hear the word nerf, I used to think of the Nerf guns that you would shoot like darts out of, which were pretty cool, or maybe a Nerf football you'd throw 50 yards, I don't know. But a nerf just means weakening the champion, making them less effective, and making them essentially less of a version of the champion that you went for, whether that be in the arena or featured crystals, etc. So, it turns out that I have received, I would say, about at least 5 different messages and different videos from players who have Cull Obsidians. I think all of them had him at least rank 4, if not rank 5. One of them even took his 6-star to rank 2 and then came to me and said, "Prof, it happened. There's a bug with Cull, at least we hope it's a bug and not a permanent nerf, that makes him much, much worse. And it deals with his duration of Thanos' favor buffs. So if you are like me and don't have a 5 or 6-star Cull, you're really having to lean on the people who use him every day in event quests. And so Tartar Sauce, way back at the end of June 28th. And then he edited it July 3rd in the bugs and known issues category of the threads. And as always, I will paste this thread in the comments and pin it so that you too can read everything that I'm showing you in today's post. I recently shared this video to the MCOC subreddit showing that when I hit the opponent, only my very first stack of Thanos' favor is paused, while the remaining 9 stacks are not paused, no matter how I'm hitting the opponent. This greatly hurts his potential damage output, so I'm really hoping this is not an intentional nerf. His ability to do massive amounts of damage with his armor breaks, Thanos' favor, route, and Hulk synergy are what really make him such an amazing champion. So taking away his ability to keep Thanos' favor buffs up for as long as possible with an aggressive playstyle are really key to his overall damage potential. Well said. Notice there isn't, any profanity in there. There isn't name calling. It's just a really respectful post trying to address a serious situation for a champion that, like I said before, many spent a lot of money on. Well, what happens, YouTube, when there is a bug or a nerf issue that is pro player and not pro Kabam? As a reminder, if anything turns out to be pro player, especially if it's like a crystal drop rate, remember we had the rigged premium disappointment crystals a couple weeks ago where suddenly you were guaranteed a 3 or 4-star champion when you popped or spun out the fully formed ones. Kabam went in and tweaked those drop rates and reset the crystals in like 10 minutes. But when it favors Kabam and hurts the player, and in this case, if a champion is worse and you are leaning on that champion to get through content, that's going to cost you a chance to have to use more potions and revives and units, and if you don't have those units, cash to get those units back, or at least a lot of time in, say, the arena. He said, "Apologies, I should have specified this has only started occurring since I updated it to 24.0 yesterday." So, Kabam Zibbit, what does he say on June 28th? "Hey there, we'll pass this along to the rest of the team to take a look at it." That is the famous phrase for when they have less of an incentive to really jump into fixing a pro-Kabam anti-player bug. So, this was on June 28th, right? That's a long time ago. We're well past that now. We are now, for those of you who haven't checked the calendar, into July 8th, right? We're more than a week after this, which is a long time. So, now it's just people after June 28th trying to check in. Hey, have you guys tested this? I still think when YouTubers come out with videos that show insane damage of new champions, there's got to be somebody at Kabam, especially in like Cull's case, and maybe Namer's case as well, who's like, well, crap. Our testers didn't really understand that that was possible, and now we're stuck. We'll just have everybody buy the champion, and we won't do anything, and then we'll just accidentally tweak that champion before the new patch. And then when people realize that they're tweaked and that they're quote-unquote nerfed, we'll wait about a month to address it. Maybe we'll put some patch notes in the August patch, but maybe we're just going to plead ignorance and say, yeah, it's working as intended. So, July 3rd, not Thirth. Thirth sounds like the third is thirsty for something else. Just more posts. Please make this your top priority to fix. Well, I'm sorry, Tartar Sauce. They clearly are not. They clearly have a motivation to be as slow on this as possible. And so, it'd be really nice. Full potential by now. First time since it came out. July 3rd. Knows the same problem. More July 3rd. More July 3rd. Sorry, July 3rd's not it. July 4th happens. July 5th happens. And finally, as we keep going all the way down, screenshots and videos galore, we will see after July 5th, July 6th, and then July 6th turns into July 7th. And we are now in July 8th. And there is nothing. Now maybe, sometimes, on rare occasion, when I make a video about something like this, and I post it to YouTube, it's just magically like addressed within the hour, and it almost makes my quote-unquote news look like old news. And I kind of hope that's the case now, right? I hope that I can post this, and then somebody comments, Prof, they just fixed it, no worries. Okay, great. I'll pin that comment, and it'll be over. But it's been well over a week since players who ranked up spent a lot of money and a lot of rank up materials to take their Cull, maybe to awaken him, to max sig him. Some people were still focused on that on July 4th with all of the many purchased rank up materials. It's kind of sad, not surprising, because we've seen this pattern far too often before from this company, but the fact is, like, this is really, really bad customer service and very, very shady. Two things that are pretty much synonymous now with Kabam, but at the same time, that's no excuse. The player base deserves answers. And if nothing else, if I was running Kabam, Lord help me, I would at least have somebody commenting, I don't know, every other day at least, saying, we're still testing this, we're still looking into this, we have not forgotten about this, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Something to communicate with the player base. Even if that's kind of a lie, right? Even if they haven't looked into it and they're still waiting to test it and they're just stalling. That at least gives the player base the basic, bare minimum level of communication that tells them, hey, they haven't forgotten about this really significant issue. But instead, it's just throwing rocks at a wall, and it's got a bunch of users really upset. So I don't know what to tell you if you're watching this and your Cull is not working as you intended to have Cull work when you went for all those purchases, all those featured Cavalier crystals, all those Grandmaster crystals. Maybe if you spent half your week in the arena to try to get him in the arena. I don't know what to tell you. All I know is that the pattern you have to remember, as much as it sucks, and it really does, is that if there is a problem like this Cull Obsidian problem that hurts the player, which helps Kabam's pocketbooks, they're going to be motivated to do as little as possible for as long as possible. But if the problem hurts their pocketbooks and helps the player get an advantage, they'll treat it like counting cards at a casino and instantly fix the problem, and sometimes even boot the players that found the loophole and exploited it for their own personal gain. Either way, it's been a weird month. July 4th had some incredible offers. There's no denying that. But we've had some stories of some really frustrating refund issues already surfaced from July 4th. Obviously some people were really, really smart and took advantage of multiple opportunities to get the uncollected and the Cavalier offers. And now we have Kabam basically dragging their feet with an issue that should have been addressed and fixed days ago, and now well over a week past when it was actually brought up. We're still just waiting for them to address it at all on this forum page. So there you have it, YouTube. Another day, another week, another Kabam silent, questionable bug or nerf, and them dragging their feet to address it for the many people who have ranked up their coals. It is a sad state of affairs, but it is the state of affairs we live in because Kabam is being Kabam. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.